I'm just about done with this trivet. All I've got left is some of these outer kind of long and round shapes going on here. And as I sit down and look at this, I can see right away that this chip is going to pose a bit of a challenge to me, because I want to start with the knife at the pointy end so I can make the nice round curve, keep that smooth on the other end. But as I come around, that's going to leave the last bit of the chip coming not only generally with the grain this way, but kind of coming slightly across it in against the grain direction there. So we'll keep an eye on that and make any changes as we need to for this chip. That wasn't too bad. You see I was able to kind of maneuver the knife there a little bit. There is a little bit of tear out on the inside there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's not too bad. Something I might want to address on the other side for that equivalent chip. On this one I'm coming back across the grain too, but it's a little bit steeper of an angle across the grain. It's not quite along the direction, so it's not doesn't pose that same challenge that the other one did. This one, not too surprised to get some hang up there. It's a pretty deep curve cut. A little bit of cleanup to do. You'll see as I start these points, they're not quite perfectly pointed. They have a little bit of a roundedness to them, so to preserve that, I actually start with the knife kind of around the side of that curve, not quite in line with where I am. But that way I can make this little round cut at the very tip, so it's not quite a sharp point. Again, it's pretty common on these kind of round-ended chips to have a little bit in the bottom still, because as I come around, I pull the knife up a little bit, and that causes it to not quite cut all the way down. But that's not a big deal. And as I come around this, you'll notice I mostly hold the knife still, trying to only move the wood underneath it. And by only having one thing moving at a time, that helps me keep a nice smooth transition around and not get any chattering, not get any ragged edges. Nice smooth circle around there. I often notice something might look like a pretty good cut the first time, and as I'm rotating the board around and get different lighting on a subsequent chip, I might see something that needs to be cleaned up, so I can go back and do that as I go. And these last couple are a little bit smaller, a little easier to get in one go. So there's that side all done. All I've got left is this side here. So here's that same chip that I got a little bit of tear out on last time. So what I'm actually going to do is just make a light cut along where I plan to cut later. Not going all the way down, just a light cut to kind of break those fibers to allow it to release easier as I make my final cut. See if that solves it for me. And I want to make sure I follow in that previous cut on my next one. And yeah, looks like a little bit of cleanup, but overall I got the result I was looking for on that. And I like that one better. A little bit hung up down there. Yeah, might have to clean it up later. Let me take another look at this over here, see if I can figure out where it's not releasing. There we go. I think that's looking better. And you'll see some of the other ones I did over here. There's a little bit more chatter, a little bit less nice smooth cuts as I was looking for, and I was finding that this knife actually needed a little bit of sharpening. So I was able to clean it up mostly. You can't tell too bad, but I was definitely had a lot smoother time after giving the knife a good sharpening, and back to nice smooth cuts for me. So that's the finished carving on the trivet.